Hi, this is Marilyn Woodruff with At Knits In Designs, and I'm here today to walk you through the stitches that are part of the Serendipity Cowl. None of these stitches are individually difficult, but when they're put together on the needle, sometimes they can look a little weird. We're going to start with row 1, which is a right twist. You're going to knit 3, and then you're going to come to the right twist. I know I have a little bit of a unique knitting style, so please ignore that as much as possible. But the right twist is a 2-stitch cable, so we're going to be dealing with these 2 stitches. What we're going to do is we're going to knit them together, just like a regular knit 2 together. Then when we're done with that, we're not going to drop these stitches off the needle. Instead, I'm going to knit this first stitch one more time. We can knit that stitch. Now I have 2 stitches on my right needle, and I'm just going to drop those 2 stitches off my left needle. And then I'm going to knit 3. And then I'm back at my repeat. So I'm going to knit 3 more, 2, 3, and I'm ready to right twist again. My right twist is a knit 2 together, leaving them on the needle, and then knit this first stitch again. Knit 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, and one last time, we have a knit 2 together. And then I'm going to put the needle right in between these 2 and knit this first stitch one more time and drop them off the needle and continue knitting. Okay, so we finished round 1 and we've knitted our way around round 2. And on round 3 is where we're going to set up the keyhole at the bottom of each of the V's. So in the pattern, each one of these V's has a large yarn over at the bottom of the V, and this yarn over is created on rows 3 through 8 is how we're going to do that. But we're going to set it up on row 3, and then you'll actually see the yarn over develop on row 5. It'll look a little weird on row 4. So when we go to row 3, what we're going to do is we'll do our normal knit 2 together, and then we're going to do a double yarn over an SSK. And you'll notice that every time you do this, it's right on top of where you did your left twist stitches. So we will knit 2 together. I've knitted my first 2 stitches of the repeat. We're going to knit 2 together, and now I'm ready to do my double yarn over. It's as easy as what it sounds. Yarn over once, yarn over twice. And we're just going to leave those on the needle. And now I'm ready to SSK the 2 stitches next to it together. And then I'm going to knit 4 and do that again. Okay, now I'm ready to do my knit 2 together. There's knit 2 together. And now I'm going to go around my yarn once and twice for my double yarn over right here. And then I'm going to SSK. All right, one more time. We're going to knit 2 together. We're going to double yarn over, and then we're going to SSK. And we're going to do that the rest of the way around round 3, and we'll come back when we get to round 4. Okay, we're back for round 4. This whole round is just knitted normally with one exception. So you're going to knit to every stitch until you get to that double yarn over. And you'll see it looks a little wonky on the needle. You're going to knit into that stitch one time and then slip both legs off. And so you're going to make this giant hole in your knitting. And you're just going to keep knitting. So knit all the way around. And then when you get to that giant yarn over, just knit into it like it's a normal stitch and slip both loops of that double yarn over off the needle and continue knitting. Here I am at my double yarn over. I'm going to knit it, slip both loops off the needle and continue along my way. All right, I'll see you back here for round 5. Round 5 starts the loop stitches that I reference in the pattern as knit 1 into the yarn over below. And every time you see this stitch happen, whether it's on round 5, 6, 7, 8, or even 13, 14, 15, no matter how many stitches you stack up, you're always going to knit that one below into this big yarn over loop. So what that will end up looking like as you stack stitches together is, if you look on this one that I have finished, you can see these elongated stitches that are centered around this yarn over. So you can see where I've done these elongated stitches all the way around. That's what you're actually creating. So this big giant loop would be a row 8, where you knit on row 8 and you loop it all the way back down into this yarn over below. So I'm going to show you how to work it for row 5, but every other subsequent row works exactly the same way. So anytime you knit one below, you knit one into that giant yarn over. So for round 5, we're going to knit 1 stitch, which I have already done here, and then we're going to knit 2 together. And now we are at that single knit that we did where we pulled those 2 loops off the stitch, off the needles. And what we're going to do is we're going to knit 1 below, knit 1, knit another 1 below. So what that's going to look like, we're going to stick our needle straight through this yarn over. So just go straight into this hole and keep going. And then we're going to wrap our yarn and pull it out, and we're going to create a new knit stitch. So that is our knit 1 below. And then we're going to knit 1. And now we're going to knit 1 more below. So we're going to knit right into this hole right here. We're going to just put our needle straight through, wrap, and bring it back up. And that's all there is to it. And then we're going to SSK. And now we're going to knit 2. And we're ready to do it again. So we're going to knit 2 together, put our needle straight through the hole, knit 1, and bring that yarn up. We're going to knit the loop that's on the needle, and now we're going to knit 1 into this loop and bring that one up, and we're going to SSK. Once more for good measure. We're going to knit 2. Now we're going to knit 2 together, knit 1 below, knit 1, and knit 1 more below, and SSK. All right, I will be coming back for row 9 to show you the right twist. All right, we've made it through the end of round 8. And you see I have 1 stitch left in round 8 here, left on my needle, that I need to knit. And there's nothing complicated about row 9. I do just want to talk about this pesky little beginning of round marker that's going to get in your way here in just a minute. The challenge we have is row 9 starts with a left twist, and it's closing up the edges of these diamonds where we're going to get ready to start a new set of diamonds. But we need 1 stitch from our left needle and 1 stitch from our right needle. So when we start row 9, we're going to take off of our beginning of row marker, and then we're going to slip this stitch that we just knitted from row 8 over to our needle, and we're going to work it again. And we're going to work our left twist, and then we're going to replace our marker. So to work a left twist, I'm going to insert my needle behind the first stitch of the left, or the second stitch of the left needle. I'm going to knit that stitch from behind, and I'm going to leave both stitches on the needle, and then I'm going to knit these 2 together from behind. At this point, I'm going to take them off the needle. Now I have to replace my beginning of round marker, so I'm going to slide this one back to my right needle. I'm going to pop that baby back on there, and then I'm going to put this one back. And now we've already worked both of these stitches. So when I get to the last stitch of round 9, I'm just going to slip it because I've already worked it in this first stitch of round 9. So now I'm going to knit 6. and I'm ready to work a left twist. I'm going to knit into the back loop of the second stitch, pull it around, leave it on the needle, then knit these first 2 stitches together through the back loop and slide them both off at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're ready to do one more left twist. Left twist, we're going to go in behind the second stitch, knit through the back loop, then knit 2 together through the back loop and pull it off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one last time. Knit through the back loop on the second stitch, knit 2 together through the back loop and pull them both off. Now I want to talk a little bit about ending row 13 and starting row 14. This isn't anything not on the pattern. It just looks a little weird because we have the stitch marker right in the middle of a stitch. So at the end of row 13, we have a knit 2 together, and then we need to knit 1 under, knit 1. So we're going to knit 1 below into the hole, and then we're going to knit this last stitch that's sitting here right before the stitch marker. And when we do that, we're going to then pass the stitch marker, and we still have this big stitch right here that we need to resolve. So row 14 starts with knit 1 below and then knit. So we're going to knit 1 below both of these threads. We're going to knit 1 into this hole right here, knit 1 below, and now we're going to knit 1 just like it says. 1, oops, I cut a little thread here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is our 7th stitch. You'll know you're right if you get to 7. These were where last row you knitted 1 below, knit 1 below. You'll know you're right if you end up with your 6th stitch and then your 7th knit stitch is the knit 1 from the row below. And now this is what I'm ready to go and do my knit 1 below. So I'm going to knit 1 below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you see I'm on my 7th stitch, and it's this knit 1 right here, 7. And now I'm ready to continue my repeats around row 14. When we get to the end of row 16, going back into row 1, we have a little bit of a unique case. We come in to this double, it looks like a double yarn over, but what it actually is this is the knit 1 below from row 15, and then we have the starting knit 1 below from row 16. In order to resolve them both as 2 stitches, we'll knit this last stitch of row 16 just as normal. So that's your 7th stitch. We're going to slip our marker, and then we're going to start row 1 again by knitting this loop through the back loop. That way we won't lose one of those 2 stitches that is right here. So now I'm back at a row 1, and I'm ready to do my right twist. So I have 1 on the needle, 2, 3, and I'm going to do my right twist. I hope you enjoy knitting the Serendipity Cowl. And if you have any other questions, or if you have any challenges that come up during your knits, feel free to email me at knitsanddesigns@gmail.com. Thank you.